Cove Students, happy Wednesday. What's going on? It's Tim and Cole here.
What up?
And hey, if you haven't already, stop what you're doing, like this video, hit the subscribe button, share it with a friend so we can get more people involved here at Cove Students.
That's right. And if it's your first time, make sure you let us know in the comment section below. We want to get connected with you. We want to know who you are and just say, what's up?
Yeah, we're glad you're here. And hey, it is officially March. It is here. March is famous for March Madness. And so we want to know, what makes you mad?
Ooh.
March Madness.
That's what we're talking about today. Pet peeves, things that irritate us, things we just do not like. In the comment section right now, let us know the things that make you so mad. Cole, I know you got something for this.
Well, literally everything that you do makes me mad. So we're going to narrow it down to your driving. It is the worst.
Cole has anger issues.
If anybody's been behind him, just make sure you're at least 10 seconds behind. Because this man, he swerves everywhere. He slams on his brakes. I don't know where you learned to drive, honestly. I don't know how they gave you a driver's license.
I don't know what to say to you right now. We're gonna pray for Cole. We're gonna get him some anger management right now. Get this guy some anger management.
We're gonna give you some driving skills. What we're gonna do.
Oh my gosh! How about I'm drive you out of the shot? All right,
that's anger right there. Wow.
Hey,
you just saw that on display.
I'm so glad. Edit that out, Sam.
Hey Tim, what makes you mad in March Madness?
Thanks for asking. For
Duke
me,
basketball?
I would appreciate it if you went over talk. That's one of my pet peeves, is when people talk over me. But the main thing I was going to say that I do not like when it comes to just my number one pet peeve is I can't stand when I go somewhere, I pay for food, and it's poor quality. Ticks me off. Like the other day, I was out somewhere at a place that will not be told on camera, and I paid $10, and I got these hard, stale chicken tenders. I was so mad. It wasn't even March yet, and I was mad. It was terrible. So, hey, here's
what a shame.
It was a big shame. We want to know, what's the thing that makes you mad? We're celebrating March Madness. Put it in the comment section below. We want to know. We'll pray for you. We'll celebrate with you, whatever you want us to do. We'll be there with you.
That's right.
That's
We're
good.
excited. We're excited.
Anything else? I apologize, Sam, that you can't use most of this content. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to fast forward. We're going to get to the next part of our service. Let's check it out.
I saw Satan fall like lightning. I saw darkness run for cover. But the miracle that I just can't get over, my name is registered in heaven. I believe in signs and wonders. I have resurrection power. But still the miracle that I just can't get over, my name is registered in heaven. All my praise belongs to you forever. This is my testimony from death to life. 'Cause grace rewrote my story, I testify. My Jesus Christ the righteous, I'm justified. This is my testimony. This is my testimony. Yeah. And come together, sons and daughters, bought with blood and washed in water, to sing the praises of the Spirit, Son, and Father. Our God will finish what He started. Yes, our God will finish what He started. This is my testimony from death to life. 'Cause grace rewrote my story, I'll testify. My Jesus Christ the righteous, I'm justified. This is my testimony. This is my testimony. Yeah. If I'm not dead, you're not done. Greater things are still to come. Oh, I believe If I'm not dead, you're not done. The greater things are still to come. Oh, I believe. If I'm not dead, you're not done. The greater things are still to come. Oh, I believe. If I'm not dead, then you're not done. The greater things are still to come. Oh, I believe. Oh, I believe it. This is my testimony from death to life. 'Cause grace rewrote my story, and I'll testify. By Jesus Christ the righteous, I'm justified. This is my testimony. Oh, I'm alive. This is my testimony from death to life. 'Cause grace rewrote my story, I'll testify. By Jesus Christ the righteous, I'm justified. This is my testimony. This is my testimony. Yeah. Oh, this is my testimony. From death to life. From death to life. This is my testimony.
What's up, Cove Students? Happy Wednesday. My name is Josh, and I'm one of your leaders here at CS. And this week, we are beginning a new series called Worth It. So I wanted to start out by asking you one question. And that question is, who are you? I want you to think about it because it's a simple question. It's only 3 words. But this is one that some people are going to wrestle with for their entire lives. Who are you? Well, to help with this question, let's put myself in your shoes and rewind a little bit to middle school Josh. And I know what you're thinking: strong, handsome, skinny, nerdy looking middle school Josh. So here I am, and let's ask 13-year-old Josh that question of who are you? Well, I am an athlete. I play basketball and I play golf, and I'm a scholar. I have straight A's and I'm on the math team. So it's a pretty easy question. Life was simple and I was happy as can be. Now let's fast forward a few months into the future. I'm in 9th grade, end of the first quarter. Well, I'm sitting in the tutor's office because I'm failing math. And I'm getting a ride home straight from school because I didn't make the basketball team. And golf, I didn't even want to try out. I saw 40 names on the sign-up sheet. All of a sudden, this simple question no longer had a simple answer. Life was not easy, and I was not happy as can be. So, what changed? Well, instead of being in algebra, I'm now in honors trig. And instead of 10 kids trying out for the basketball team, there were 80. Bigger school, harder classes, new scene, and in a few short months, my entire life was turned upside down. Let's dig a little bit deeper and find out why. Today, we are going to be talking about identity. So take a look up at the screen and I want you to write this down. Your identity is a source of stability. Your identity is a source of stability. Whether you're happy or sad or content or stressed, all of this can derive from one thing, and that's your identity. So it's very important that we have one, but it's also important that we have the right identity. Did you even know that you could have the wrong identity? Because an unstable identity leads to an unstable life. Well, one of Jesus's favorite teaching techniques was called a parable. And he used these stories to teach some of his most memorable messages and lessons. And one of the most famous of these is the parable of the wise and foolish builders. So if you have your Bible, go ahead and take that out. If not, we're going to have the verses up on the screen. And we're going to be in the book of Matthew, chapter 7, verse 24. If you want to follow along here with me. Everyone who hears these words of mine and does them will be like a wise man who built his house on the rock. And the rain fell and the floods came and the winds blew and beat on that house. But it did not fall because it had been founded on the rock. And everyone who hears these words of mine and does not do them will be like a foolish man who built his house on the sand. And the rain fell and the floods came and the winds blew and beat against that house and it fell. And great was the fall. What Jesus is saying here is that if we are building our identity, if we're building our life around anything other than God, we are setting ourselves up to fail. So, what are you building your identity on? How do you define yourself? Is it by what you see in the mirror? Is it by the letters on your report card? Or maybe it's by your strengths or your talents? Or are you letting others define you? You put a lot of weight in what other people have to say about you. The world is saying that you need to have a girlfriend and you need to have more followers and you need to have more friends, and you're constantly being judged by how many likes are on your post and how many views are on your video. And the world is just trying to shape you into this person, but there's no real clarity on who you are supposed to be. And you see, my identity, it was a house built on sand. I was letting my skill set, what I do, what I was good at, I was letting what I do define who I am. So when the storms came, right? When things got difficult and I wasn't ready for them, my life came crashing down. And some of you may be thinking, so what? You didn't make the basketball team. But let's think about this for a second. Identity is a source of stability. It's a source of confidence. It's a source of belonging. So for me, it wasn't about the sport. Basketball was a way of getting everything that I wanted. It was instant friends, right? I'm at a new school and all of a sudden I have teammates. And it was gonna be a way that I spend my time. I travel to away games and I do tournaments on the weekends. Like, this was my place to belong. And more than that, it was my confidence. I didn't care what anybody thought about me or said about me as I'm walking through the halls, because I have my team, I have my teammates, I have that to go back on, right? Without that, who was I gonna be? Where was I gonna make friends? How was I gonna spend my time? So I want you to think about, what is that one thing in your life that you were just putting way too much weight on? That one thing that if it was taken away, your whole life would just come crashing down. And for some of you, that might be the soccer team or the cheer squad. Maybe it is getting that part in the school play or musical, or maybe it is your grades, or maybe it's that person that you're dating. We all have an area that we're just putting way too much weight on. Are you letting what you do define who you are? You see, the issue here is that one thing in life that is constant is change. We get older, we change schools, we move towns. Sometimes we're healthy, sometimes we're sick. Sometimes we're single, other times we're in a relationship. But life is always changing. And if your identity is tied to the wrong thing, our whole life can come crashing down. So what are you building your identity on? Because who you are has nothing to do with what you do, what your hobbies are, who your friends are, who you're dating, who you're not dating. You are not the sum of your strengths. You're not the sum of your mistakes. You are not your reflection in the mirror, and you are not your insecurities, because we look to all of these things to define who we are. But the truth is, who we are is defined by who God is, by who Jesus is, by what he did. We know who we are because we know whose we are. When we find our identity in God, we are building our house on the rock. And when the rains come and the floods come, when life is getting tough and we're not ready for it, guess what? We are going to stand strong, because it doesn't matter what battles we face. It doesn't matter what failures come our way. It doesn't matter what other people are saying about us. We are confident in who we are because God has already given us everything that we need. We have a place to belong. We have a source of confidence. We have lifelong stability that God is going to get us through everything that comes our way, because he is the same God yesterday and today and forever. So the next time that you feel lost, you feel alone, the next time you're listening to others' negative opinions about you, I want you to remind yourself what God says about you. Everybody, take a look up on this screen here. Psalm 139 says you are beautifully and wonderfully made. Judges 6:12 says that you are a mighty warrior. Joshua 1:9 says you're strong and you're courageous. John 15:15 says you're a friend of Jesus. Ephesians 1:4, you're holy and unblemished in his sight. Ephesians 2:6 says you're seated in heaven. 1 Thessalonians says you're chosen and beloved. And John 1:12 says that you are a child of God. That is your identity, and that can never be taken away from you. It is not dependent on anything. It will never change. Take a look at this screen right here. And when your coach tells you that you are not talented enough, Judges 6:12 says that you are a mighty warrior. And when you're single and you feel unwanted, 1 Thessalonians says that you are chosen and beloved. And when you get made fun of for your looks or your personality or your grades, Psalm 139 says you are beautifully and wonderfully made. Remind yourself who God says you are. Look at that verse. Write down that verse, because that is who you are. There's nothing you can do to make God love you more. And there's nothing you can do to make God love you less. You just are beloved. You are a child of God. And it has nothing to do with what you do. It's about what he has already done. Everyone in this room right now, students, leaders, volunteers, today, we are taking ownership of our identity. We are not letting others define us. We are not letting our insecurities define us. We are not letting our wrong choices define us. We're not letting our strengths or our weaknesses define us. We are going to build our house. We're going to build our identity on the rock that is Jesus Christ. So, what does that look like? Well, for some of you, your next step is to identify that one verse that speaks to you. I want you to write it down. I want you to make it the background on your phone. I want to make it the wallpaper on your computer. Put it on your notebook. Whatever you do, put this somewhere that you see it and God can speak to you day in and day out. Let him speak the truth into your life about who you are. And that is your next step. And for others, maybe you just really relate to an unstable identity, right? Some days you wake up and you feel great and you're excited. The next day, you don't even want to get out of bed, right? It just seems like a gamble day in and day out. Is it going to be a good day? Is it going to be a bad day? And you need to focus on that stability that can only be found in God. And finally, for others, you need to focus on that one thing in your life that you are putting way too much weight on. Because no matter how important that thing seems, and it may be a really, really big part of your life, keep working on it, keep striving for it, but that thing does not define you. Think about that, pray about that, talk to your small group leader about that, because whatever that is that seems so important, it is not who you are. So today, wherever you stand, together, let's build our house on the rock that is Jesus Christ. Everyone, bow your heads and close your eyes, and let's pray together. Dear God, some of us in this room, we already know you. But if you're honest, God is not truly at the center of your life. The source of your identity is elsewhere. You have a casual relationship with Him. You know Him, but you don't belong to Him. Maybe you've sat in this exact church, maybe even that exact row, and you've just prayed to God for somewhere to belong. You've said, God, please let me get into that college. Please let me make that team. Please let me date that girl. And over again, you lift these prayers up to God of a place to belong. And the entire time, God has just been there waiting with His arms open wide. And He's saying, you're already here. You are home. You are loved. This is where you belong. And God, there are others in this room that have never made that decision to accept Christ into their lives. And now is that time. If that's you and you just feel God tugging at your heart tonight, I want you to raise your hand on the count of 3. I want you to open your heart and let God in. 1, 2, 3. With our heads still bowed and our eyes still closed, let's all say this prayer together. Dear Jesus, I choose you. I give myself to you. I receive your forgiveness. I give you my heart. Fill me with your love and make me brand new. Amen.
Hey, if you just prayed that prayer along with Josh, we are so excited for you. Your next step is to tell somebody. You can do that by leaving a comment section below, or you can reach out to us directly on our Instagram page at Cove_students on Instagram. Hey, thanks for joining us. We love you guys. We'll see you next time.